So basically my presentation will be about Ulcinj salina, which is one of the most important wetlands in the Montenegro, besides some others. First, short overview of Montenegro. This is very mountainous area in the Balkan and very small country, but basically a lot of dynamic landscape with a lot of mountains, a lot of canyons, a lot of forests. So the wetlands are not something which is our top, how to say, places, but definitely we have few of them which are very, very important, basically because they are on the very, very good location, considering especially the birds migration. So average altitude of Montenegro, as you see, is 1020 meters, and this is the country which is old Yugoslavian country, ex-Yugoslavian country, and it is located also on the Adriatic coast. So Ulcinj salina, which we'll speak about, is located on the southest point of the Montenegro, close to the Adriatic Sea. So you can see on the map on the right that the position of Ulcinj salina is far on the south, as I mentioned, and on the map below you can see the two most important wetlands in the Montenegro. Both of them are Ramsar sites, so they have really importance on the international level. So Skadar Lake is the biggest lake on the Balkan. Very, very important, very famous. So on the map you can see this northern part of Skadar Lake, which is a hotspot for the birds and full of the colonies of these most important species. But beside that, the different part of the south coast, which is mostly karstic and full of island, is also very important. Whole this area to the south, we can see on the border with Albania, there is Bojana River, which comes from the Skadar Lake going into Adriatic Sea, and this Bojana Buna Delta is also on top of importance for the conservation of wetlands in Montenegro, and very, very rich with biodiversity. So in the red circle you can see the Ulcinj salina, which will I speak about. Ulcinj salina is located as some core site in this Bojana Buna Delta. As you see, the most part of this coast from Montenegro to Albania are mostly mountainous. And this is a situation from the Slovenia to Croatia, a small part of Bosnia, and it continues to Albania, to Greece. And this small gap, as you see here, is something which is very, very important for the birds migration, as they find the mountains very tough to take over them, their migration. They find this small gap to get inland, but also other thing which is very, very attractive for them is a lot of small dislocation through the Bojana Buna Delta and Skadar Lake, which are small wetlands, very important for their feeding and stopover. On the left, you can see the old map from 1972. You also can see the Ulcinj salina with the basins, but also the southern part, southern east part, in that moment was not built. It's built in 79 after a big earthquake that we have here. So after that, they put a lot of effort to spread the area of Ulcinj salina, especially for, of course, production of salt. You will see in the next slide the shape of today situation, but also as you see in these pictures on the top, this is Ada Island and the Delta Bojana River. It separates in two different directions, and in the middle is the Ada Bojana, which is very, very important. So in the on the picture on the down, you can see the Velika Plaža. This is 9-kilometer long beach, and also on the other Bojana we have 3 kilometers. So this is 12 kilometers of sandy beach, which is a good stopover for the migrational birds. But also in the winter time we have a lot of birds that are nesting, that are spending winter in this area of open sea, but also on the beach. And on the down picture you can see on the left side the Ulcinj salina. So you can see that it is very close to the sea, and there is this agriculture and a lot of wetlands between the beach and salina, which also plays a big role for some different kind of species. But anyway, for the spring migration, a lot of this area is also flooded. So this is a very good situation for the migratory birds, which comes from Adriatic, so from the open sea. They are very tired, so they need this stopover. So Ulcinj salina, as I mentioned on the picture, right on the top, you can see the map of Ulcinj salina, a lot of basins. This is different that we see before. So we have this new part from 79 called New Salina, and basically this is the area which is big for almost 15 square kilometers, and this is the one of the biggest salinas in the Mediterranean. So this is, as we know, salinas are artificial ecosystems, but this is also very important for aspect of bird and also nature conservation. And one of the examples where we have ecology can go by each other, and they depend on themselves. So in Ulcinj salina we have registered more than 250 bird species. More than 55 of them are nesting there. So we are talking about a lot of species that are Annex 1 species by Bird Directive. And when we have a proportion of these species that are nesting in Ulcinj salina, we see that it is very big on European level, but also on Balkan level. For example, 80% of greater flamingos are from Balkan population spending winter in the Ulcinj salina. But also we have few species like colored pratinkoll, which have 13% of the Balkan population nesting in this location of Ulcinj salina. So from different aspects of birds, it's very important. So it's important like resting site, it is important like wintering. Not last year, but we have the numbers of 60,000 of birds spending winter in the Ulcinj salina, which is very, very huge, and also very, very important breeding site. It is protected in 2019 as a nature park, but also as a Ramsar site. And this comes after a long fight with the government because they have other plans with this location. So it was planned to build a lot of touristic buildings in this area, so they can spread the tourism infrastructure in this area after abandoning the salt production. This I forget to mention, but salt production is abandoned in 2013, and this is the point in time when we have a lot of problems after that, especially for conservation. So as I mentioned, the problems, salt production stopped in 2013, and after that we have really bad management of water, which plays a big role in the whole area. It is artificial area, and it is totally dependent of management of water. So after stopping the production of salt in 2013, the management of water almost stopped. And after that, we have a really bad scenario for this location. You can see on the down map circulation of water. So this is more than 50 kilometers of water flooding and streaming inside of Ulcinj salina from one basin to other, with goal to have the biggest concentration of salt in this left part of Ulcinj salina in the crystallization basins. And for that, we have a really shallow water from 30 to 60 centimeters almost in each basin, which was very good for the birds, especially for waders. But after this mismanagement of water, a lot of dikes are destroyed. We have a situation that in the winter time we have very high level of water, and this is very windy area, so a lot of waves are destroying the dikes. You can see that in this picture in the middle. Also, one other thing is that we have overgrowing succession of Ulcinj salina, because we don't have so much salt water anymore in the basins. The vegetation took over, and this is all coming to the habitat changing, which affecting the diversity of species that are nesting but also wintering there. And this is all problems which are very affecting the birds. Also, we have illegal hunting in this area, so this is also one problem, which is not connected to mismanagement, but also affecting the birds in a negative way, because we have a lot of cases with very endangered species which are shot in Ulcinj salina, such as griffon vulture, Dalmatian pelican. But after a lot of pressure, our organization working also on monitoring of illegal hunting. So last years it's getting down in the way how it was years before. So our organization worked in Ulcinj salina almost from 2003 with Euronatur and partners. So in that way we have a this is definitely the location in Montenegro with biggest data collected in that way. So from 2003 we have this complete counts of Ulcinj salina. So that means that we go each month in each basins counting the birds. So we have more than 18 total counts for Ulcinj salina. This is very good data to analyze the situation and follow these changings which I mentioned before. Also from 2016 we have the breeding bird surveys each year in the May and June. We also go to all parts of Ulcinj salina, mapping the nesting birds, and this is for 7 years. We have very good data, and we also can follow these changings. As you can see on these maps on the left, this is the result of these breeding bird surveys. For example, I put this representative species like Kentish plover, colored pratnikol, and little tern. So in the upper map, you can see the salina in the moment when we have very high water level. This is caused raining period in the June in 1 year in 2016, and as you see, a lot of birds didn't nest that year, and they were stuck in the flux. And you can see them on the border of this core zone of the Ulcinj salina. But next year, in 2017, we have a different situation. We have a more dry season, and you can see this distribution of this species in the all basins. So this is an example in one way how the water is affecting the nesting birds in the Ulcinj salina. Beside that, we also have monitoring of colonies. So we have live streaming of the colonies. You can see in this picture where the pelican are. So this is not raft for the pelicans. Even we put one for them last year. This is the platforms for common tern, and we have more than 60 pairs there. We're following them via camera. So we have opportunity to follow day by day in the nesting season. And the ringing also one of the other activities which we are still developing. This year we have the first, let me say, the trying of the ringing in the Ulcinj salina. So the position, location everything is good, and this is something which we will better develop in the next period, as we think that this is very important for the monitoring of this area.
Okay, Bojan, I have to ask you to be more to speed up, because we are already over your time.
Okay, we're almost in the end. So On conservation measure and advocacy, conservation measure, I mentioned drafts. We also done for the few species, but also putting these shell duck nesting boxes, also platforms. Also platforms I already mentioned, but restoration is something which is starting from these days, and this is the most important work. So we need to repair all these dikes in the way to we have this management of water is in the appropriate manner to fulfill the basins with water in the way which is good for the birds. And also you can see on these maps problem with dikes. You can see this one of them which is broken, and this is the restoration efforts on the map on the right. You can see in the red circles the first dikes which we will repair this year. And this is pretty much that from my side. So if there is any question, I will be here. Thank you.